I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
I don't know what my hair's doing, but it's got a mind of its own today, and a little poofy.
You know, it's all right.
Well, yours looks lovely.
Thanks.
You look beautiful. You look lovely, and on top of your game today.
Don't tell the hairstylist that I see you every 2 years, but I cut my own hair this morning, so.
You know, I watch those TikToks of people, parting their hair, putting it in ponytails, and they actually do a kind of a great job. And I'm like, should I not pay $125 every month?
You might. For mine, it's just long and blah.
Well, it's normally curly, so you look different and beautiful today.
Oh, well.
How's your week going? I know that you got some band things going on with kids, and
I am soloing it. Mark's in Florida, and so we have a whole bunch of things going on. Of course, this week I have a 13-year-old. This by tomorrow, I will have a 13.
Are you stinking kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I knew we had a birthday tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I did not. Oh, let's all bow our heads and pray for you.
Thank you. I always do a tradition, and I've gotten really good at blowing up balloons.
Oh.
So I have a tradition of like setting up the house the night before as like a celebration. And so for some reason, balloons are the thing. And so I have lots of balloons. Silas had like a disco and donuts theme today, at the beginning of the month. And then now we're going into neon lights. So I'm doing black lights tonight. And I already blew up some of my balloons. And so I'm trying to do that and also keep up with you and also keep up with my headache.
You are the mother that I would be like drooling, like I wish I could be you. I wasn't that. I wasn't that.
In the meantime, my house is thrown up. So like I've got a lot of work to do. So don't be like that.
So I have some news today. So we were empty nesters for an entirety of 6 months when the kids went to college. And it was the greatest 6 months. It was amazing. It was like, I have my house back. Nobody's messing things up. It was wonderful. And then they moved back in. We're getting ready to go through a phase now where Miss Sarah thinks she's getting an apartment and she's going to do some adulting.
What?
And I'm mixed. I'm mixed because I'm excited. I'm excited for her, yes. But I'm also excited to have my house back. And yet I also know that there's going to be tears and there's going to be, those things. And I'm kind of preparing for it. And she's like, "You're going to cry, Mom." I think she wants me to.
Yeah.
I'm drumming it up. But I actually am going to be sad. Excited to watch her. She signed her first lease. She's adulting, and she's more of an adulting adult than most kids, where she obsessed over her budget and like, can I afford it? And can I, she hasn't figured out, the poor people's shopping yet, like we had to do when we were, I'll speak for myself.
No, we did.
Going and getting the generic stuff. She hasn't figured that out yet. And I'm trying to gentle teach her that without, being that mom.
Right.
But it's fun to watch. And Kyle's getting ready to. I already have plans for their room. And our cleaning lady was here yesterday. I'm like, listen, we got to be careful of how we do this, but this is the plans on Friday night. And so I took the day off on Monday, and I'm going to help her as we transform those rooms. Not too excitedly, Hi, Amanda. Hi, Gary. They're joining us this morning. We got an exciting show
Ooh,
today.
yeah.
I'm gonna do a lot of talking, and I'm gonna toss some things to you
Yeah.
very gently. You're gonna catch it,
Hey, I'm
and you're
fine.
gonna hit a
I'm
home run
ready.
with it. So, we have some really exciting stuff happening. And a lot of you know we try to keep politics out. That's
That's
funny.
funny.
That's funny right there. If you don't want me because of my politics, then you really don't want to lose weight, and you
Wait,
just don't want. It's just gonna happen. It just oozes from me,
but
because I came from it.
here's the honest truth though. Like I was having a conversation that somebody who isn't doesn't live our lifestyle,
Yeah,
doesn't really is not really involved in politics, but
right.
he likes to work out, he goes to gym,
Yeah.
he is really focused on like the nutrition and the type of
Mm-hmm.
things that he eats.
Right.
And he too is like, it's amazing how food is actually political
It really is.
to me. And it is. As
Really.
much as we want to try to say, oh, food's not political,
Yeah.
it is very political.
Yeah. And I am bipartisan. You know what box I sit in. You know who I love. You know all of those things. But I was talking. This was a beautiful conversation I had on the way to the governor's yesterday. I met a woman when I went to see RFK confirmed. I met this woman in line. I met her at the hotel. She looked really fancy, and I'm like, either that's a senator or it's somebody important. And so we kind of smiled at each other, but I didn't think anything of it. And when we went to line up at 4 in the morning because we weren't sure what time to get there to actually get a seat in the hearing room, um, when I saw her. Like we took our separate Ubers. I thought, well, she's all put together, but it didn't hit me until we found each other in line, and I'm like, I just saw you. She's like, we should have shared an Uber, if we would
Mhm.
have known. But when we stood in that line that morning, I'm a Republican. Okay, I'll say it. Right, I've been one. I was born one. Our parents raised us. But when I stood in that line, I was not standing with Republicans. I was standing with everybody.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I think there was a Democrat there. When it comes to health, people are willing to put that aside. I will stand with anybody who is going to fight for the things that we're fighting for. And so it was really, really cool. And yesterday on the way to the governor's, she called me and we went over the presentation. We went over everything. And I just stopped her and I said, I'm so grateful for you. I am so grateful that we get to stand on the front lines. And I don't even know what her political affiliation is. No idea. Heck, RFK is a Democrat or was a Democrat, right?
Yeah.
So it's like church. A lot of pastors shy away from politics, right?
Mhm.
But when you ask them more questions, the issues we have created into politics. It is not, it's life. Foundation of everything is life, right? That's not political. That is so we have made things into political things just because we have to pick a side, and and that's our fault. That's our fault for doing that. And
Yeah.
we have to realize that some things we talk about, they don't have a side. And if making people healthy, I want to make a Democrat healthy. I want to make a libertarian healthy. I want to make everybody healthy. So it's not a political thing. In Indiana, we're a red state. And so, we speak those things because that's what we believe. We're at the core, we're conservative and we think for ourselves here. People don't tell us how to think. We have these opinions, but it's really not political. And so, yeah, we aren't political. We talk about the issues that are important to us, and today we're going to talk about one. Um, I don't know why. I don't know why God has put me in this position. I've asked Him over and over and over. Why did you put me? What am I doing at these meetings? The governor requested to meet with a group of 5 of us once a month. We sit in his mansion in the Indiana. It's the People's House. We sit in that once a month, and I've sat in there for this is the 6th month. And we sit in there, and some of the topics we talk about, we don't just talk about health. We talk about property taxes. We talk about energy costs. We talk about, the big thing now is redistricting. We talk about those things. And I sit in these meetings, and I'm like, I'm dumb. And don't come at me. I know.
Like,
I
how
know.
do you feel? You
But
say,
that's how I feel. It's reality. It's my
yeah.
truth. I feel inadequate to be sitting at this table with these very important people, and they put their pants on the same way we do,
Hmm.
so when we look at these people, they wear shorty short socks. They we were talking about, this may be too TMI, but we were talking about when we were working with Mike Pence and working with him on some issues. There was one event that we went to that his zipper was undone.
Oh,
It's life, right? And so I'm sitting at this table for all of these months, and my job, you're going to laugh at this, my job unintentionally is, as they're talking, to say, wait, stop. I need you to put this in fifth grade language for me who lives on Smith Street, right?
mm-hmm.
I need you to bring this down. And he's so good at doing that.
Yeah.
But that's my job. I can't fake it. I can't fake all of these economic words. I just can't. I can't. And so that's been my job for the past 6 months. Hey, I agree with what you're saying, but can we talk about it in the way I understand?
We kind of do that in our program too.
Exactly.
We learn, we did not grow up wanting to be doctors and nurses and nutritionists. That was, maybe you did.
No.
I didn't.
Never. I was going to be a third grade teacher.
Yeah, okay. So educate, that makes sense. But we take all of these scientific words that, like, why did somebody even call it
Metabolic?
Like, what is this? Like,
yeah,
like all these things. Okay. Yeah. And then we don't want to say dumb it down, but we simplify it, and we are able to explain how our body works in simple man's terms that makes more sense. Yeah. So that is, I'm not a doctor. No, I'm not a nurse, but I can definitely explain to you how the body works in simple man's terms. Yeah.
And I do that sometimes I'll go to AI and I'll be like, I did it the other day when you and I were talking about the pancreas and the liver.
Yeah.
Those words scare me. I'm like, the body is so crazily, amazingly made. Okay, what is the pancreas? Do we really need to teach about the pancreas in our practice? Yeah, we do. We certainly do, because our clients make different choices because they know what their pancreas does and they know how they need to protect their liver.
Yeah.
My gosh, you and I did that study on the liver. The importance of that is crazy. We abuse our liver, and that causes all of these things, And so, we do dumb it down.
Yeah.
And so that's my job on this committee, is please dumb it down for me. And I will help you fight for those issues because I believe in them, but I need to dumb it down for my people, for myself. I'll speak for me. But then I'm like, okay, but God, why am I here? Why am I sitting at this table with with people who can make policy changes on our behalf when I am not smart enough to be here? And yesterday, this is why I was here. And I'm going to tell you what God did in this meeting. I'm still overwhelmed by what he did. I go to these meetings with, I think there's 5 of us, and they're heroes to me. I would trust my entire family with every single member of this committee. I would trust them to speak for me. They are tried and true, conservative, liberty people. And so I asked them one time, I said, okay, can we bring another topic into these monthly meetings? I have a passion to make Indiana healthy again. Not just a term, not just a Maha thing, not just a Miha thing. I have a passion to do this. Can we do something other than just using those terms? Make America healthy again. Can we put some action behind that? And my gosh, they were like, "Oh, please, will you do this?" Mm-hmm. And so yesterday, I was really nervous, but I gave our governor a presentation. And the really cool thing of this is the people that were there, the person that was there sitting next to him was his wife. And Maureen is the most beautiful, sweet, kind woman. She is a perfect match for him. And the reason why he got involved in politics in the first place was because of her. She had gotten a call to run for school board because I was lamenting that I was turning 50 the last meeting we were with him. And I was like, oh gosh, I got to make a difference to the second part of my life. I want to do something that makes a difference. He says, let me tell you what happened when I turned 50. I got a phone tossed at me by Maureen one evening, and she said, Mike, I don't have time to run for school board. I need you to do it. And that is why we have our governor today, because he was a senator for a few years, and then he's now our governor. And he is sitting there when he turned 50 because his wife handed him the phone and said, I don't have time to run for school board, but we need to do something. And that was how he got his start in politics. And so he said, who knows what will happen when you're 50, Monica? Who knows? This is what happened to me. So anytime you can use your voice, use it. A lot of people are scared because they hate politics. They hate that word. It's like politics means, a tick, like an insect. Politics, that's where it came from. And so we have morphed that word into some bad word and some gross word. Like either I'm not smart enough for that, or I don't want anything to do with those people. And most of the days I feel that way. We're dealing with the situation in our county right now. I don't want anything to do with it because it's gross, right?
It's that word division.
Yes.
And it's turned into division, and we don't like division. Like, we want unity, but unfortunately, politics is division.
Right. Oh, you're a Democrat, so I can't talk to you because we
We're
disagree
never
on
gonna
everything.
We're never
When you start opening your mouth and you sit next to a person of the opposite party, you will be shocked, especially if you open your mind a little bit, that you agree with some of their principles, right? We're so scared of saying we agree with somebody on the opposite party that we don't talk, and then we let the media talk for us. That's wrong. That is so wrong. When we start talking, now there are things I will not cross. There are foundational principles. I will never say it's okay to kill a baby, ever. Right? So there's things that we hold as standards. And you know what? That's okay. We can sit next to each other and we can talk about it. That's why. And that's why Charlie Kirk was killed, because he believed in talking to people about everything. He believed that when you stop talking is when the bullets fly. And he is 100% right. So it is my hope and prayer that we turn the media off and we start talking to each other. And I believe, and that's hard for me, living in a box, because I like boxes. But when I really think about it, I was standing in line with Democrats, Republicans, independents in line waiting for RFK to be confirmed. And I realized I changed that day. And I'm thankful. I still haven't asked. We have a little texting stream with the people that we met that day. I still haven't asked them if they're Republican or Democrat. No idea what they are. But I know we can agree on this. So that's what we did yesterday. So the really cool thing, I found out why I'm at this meeting. I found out what I can promote, and I found my place. But the really cool thing is I prayed over. I had my small church praying. I had you praying. Everybody was praying that day at 4:00. And that morning I woke up. I should have been a nervous wreck because, number one, I love the people that I'm there with. I love the team that I'm with. I want to make them proud. I don't want to embarrass my family, right? So I'm worried because here's what happens in my mind. Tell me if this is you. In my mind, at any given point during the day, there are 49 things that I'm thinking about at once. I'm thinking about my clients. I'm thinking about my schedule. I'm thinking about Sarah moving out. I'm thinking about the proposal I have to write. I'm thinking about 49 things. How many is in your head?
A lot.
You've got more.
On top of that, I got yours.
Yes, you got more. You're raising kids. Yeah. And you're also. Hey. No.
Uh-oh.
My light went off, and it's the cat batting the plugs that could unplug my entire.
Oh, goodness.
So that's 50 things right now.
I added one.
And it's not even my cat; it's my daughter's cat. So that was planned. That was pre-planned because I wanted to show you what's going on in my head.
Yeah.
So that is what I was dealing with this week, knowing I've got this big presentation, knowing I don't want to embarrass the family that I'm going to be going there with, because anything I say, we're a group, we're tied. And if I say the wrong thing and somebody doesn't agree with me, oh my gosh, now we all disagree with each other, and that's okay. But I'm sitting there and I have never felt prayer. There was one other time. I introduced Rand Paul to a stadium, to the Dallas, to the American Airlines Stadium. 30,000 people in there. And I remember the day I had to introduce him in front of 30,000 people. And I remember sitting in the seats, and they're getting ready to call my name. And when I got up and I walked down the platform to go introduce him, I'll never forget. It felt like, don't say I'm weird, guys, my haters. I felt like I walked through a wall of water. Never forget that. When I walked through it, calm instantly. Like it was a miracle that happened that day. Yesterday, I woke up singing the song. We were singing it in church on Sunday. God has plans, his plans for you. I was singing that song in the powerful. I sent you a copy of it. I want you to listen to it.
Yeah.
That's what I woke up singing. And it was a brand new song. Like he had just taught it to us 2 weeks ago. And I just had peace. I drove down with Mom. She went with me. And I just had peace. I was thinking about one thing at a time all day long. I sit down at this presentation. I gave him a folder, I gave him my presentation, and I began to speak. And I was telling him what is happening is, and this is political, what is happening is billions of dollars are coming into the states. If you're in a state, you probably have health money flooding into the state from the federal government. These dollars are now being sent to big health conglomerates like Parkview, like the insurance companies, like pharma. All of these monies and these dollars are being sent to these big health conglomerates. What is the problem with that? The problem with that is money. These health conglomerates have no interest in making people well. They have an interest in treating the symptoms, because if a patient has symptoms, they get paid for it. They get paid to prescribe. They do not teach you how to eat. So I presented this to the governor and said, this is wrong. We need money flowing in, the money that is flowing into the states. We need a choice. We need education, because you can reverse diabetes. You can reverse PCOS. We've seen it. We have seen it time and time again in our practice. You can reverse metabolic disease, and you don't have to live with these prescriptions. The fat shot that they are promoting right now may be useful for some people, but 9 times out of 10, when you change your lifestyle, you heal metabolically. You heal from the root, and you don't need that shot because the weight falls off. But here's the difference. The weight falls off and stays off.
Mm-hmm.
The fat shot is temporary. It's either a lifetime shot that you give yourself every single week, or it is regain the weight, get those diseases back if you don't take it. So it's a short-term fix, right? And so I presented that. I laid it out to him. I said 44% of Hoosiers are obese. We're not talking overweight. We're talking obese. 12%, and I'm questioning that stat, 12% have diabetes that can be reversed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me started on kids' diabetes. That's the parents' fault. And I'm not talking type 1, so don't come at me. I'm talking type 2 diabetes can be reversed. We are living with these diseases and we're medicating them. Why is that? Does that fire you up? Like,
yeah. I would add, I told you this one before, like I would add the mental health issue as well. Yes. That is a huge one.
Talk about that a minute.
There's a lot. I don't have the numbers underneath my nose at the moment, but you guys can do your research. Mm-hmm. The fact that our teenagers our young adults are on these antidepressants, these anti-anxiety, addicted to them because it makes them feel good. It numbs these feelings that they're having.
Yeah.
And now I know that there's a deeper root because,
Absolutely.
again, there's a deeper root,
Absolutely.
but there is a foundational fix, and it has been studied over in Harvard
Yeah.
about the foundational food choices that you make
Mm-hmm.
will help with those issues, those
Yeah.
mental health. And
Dr. Chris Palmer.
yeah, that is one. Change your diet, change your mind with Enid, not Enid. Dr. Enid would be
Yes.
another one.
Yes.
She does a lot of studies about, people with schizophrenia, with bipolar, with all of these other mental health issues, with anxiety, ADHD, ADD, all of them,
All of it.
all of those.
Yes.
And instead of, talking through emotions, talking through what you do in these situations, we're going to just medicate you.
Right.
And then those medications, I've witnessed this, where these medications are now then going to form another problem with not only addiction, but these medications they get put on cause them to gain weight.
Yes.
And then they are going into this crisis of, oh my goodness, I am overweight. Now there's a eating disorder.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's something else upon that. So we're not fixing the root problem here.
Yeah.
We are just medicating. And
Yeah.
and I know, again, I'm gonna add this disclaimer. I understand there are deep rooted mental illnesses that
Yes.
are understanding. I get that. But there's ones where we can't help our teenagers and our young adults and our even kids be able to talk through these big emotions that they're going through.
Yeah.
And talk about when we are feeling this. And then that goes to, how the nitty gritty thing, like sit down and have a conversation with your teenager.
Yeah.
Sit down and have a conversation with your little kid saying, you're feeling angry right now. Why are you feeling angry?
Mm-hmm.
Those are normal. And that kind of sounds wishy-washy and like
Well,
what a
it's
new
true.
age type of thing. But we need to talk about these emotions.
Right. Because those emotions sometimes stem from sugar.
Yes. And that is the root. It is what you are putting in your body. That is the root. These ultra processed foods, these Doritos, these Takis, and that's where RFK comes in with those, the dyes. And, it's not just about the dyes too.
Yeah.
Like that's,
and they're addictive properties.
Yeah.
And the texture of these foods.
Yes.
They stimulate the dopamine system. There is a scientific reason why these foods are addictive.
Yeah.
And the food companies know it. They know it. They put those properties in the food, and you are instantly addicted to those things. So we're talking addiction. We're talking mental health. We're talking about all of these things. And what Indiana's doing, and when I say Indiana, I mean all of the other states as well. What we're doing is we're medicating the problem. We are not fixing the root.
Which is lifelong, what is it? Lifelong customers.
Yes.
When the younger you get them,
yes,
the more you're going to have income.
This is why my skin crawls when I hear they're giving the fat shot to children. My skin, I don't have good feelings when we talk about that, because we are creating exactly what you said, lifelong customers. And that is why we do it. Now, here's a little sidebar that we will go down is we don't sometimes give the doctors a choice because we are so convenience oriented. We are so lazy in our parenting, in our living, in life. We say, give me a quick fix, doc. Give me a quick fix because I don't want to deal with this. Give me a pill to fix it. And that's what most of the people who are on these shots are. They don't want to do the work. They want a pill to do the work for them. And so doctors sometimes, even the good ones, the ones who come to our clients and say, well, you're not losing weight fast enough. Here's a shot. Shame on them for that. Shame on the doctor who does not congratulate you for losing weight on your own. Shame on you.
I just had that happen this week.
It's insanity. It's insanity. But when we start to live in a world of convenience where we can't decide that we want to fix our own health, that's not on the doctors, that's on us. It
Yeah.
was on me for 40 years.
Hmm.
You know, that was me. I wanted convenience. I was too tired when I got home from work, so you might as well order pizza. Might as well order, the easy stuff. We might as well open a Little Debbie's and toss it at the kids.
Yeah.
That was me. I'll own it. I will own that for the rest of my life. But there is the doctors who say the pill's better. Don't get me started on statins. Don't get me started on the numbers that these labs are showing, that doctors are making up these numbers so that they can put you on statins. We're medicating people. We're not fixing them. My passion yesterday walked into that room with, I want to fix Hoosiers. I want metabolic health. And so I created the Metabolic Health Initiative. It's a 6-month pilot program that our counties can pick up so that we can come into the counties and fix people metabolically instead of medicating them. So my concern is with the dollars flowing into our state that are being assigned to these health conglomerates, we're not going to get a shot to do that. And we're just going to medicate our people instead of fixing them. And I'm tired of it. And so the really cool thing is, I'm going to talk about the difference between men and women here. So don't get offended. Send me your emails. That's fine. I'll send it right back to you. But the difference between men and women, I saw it at the table yesterday. It was hilarious because when I started, the governor was getting fired up. He was getting fired up. He's like, oh, I agree with you. I agree. Could you write this in a proposal for me? And I handed him my folder. I said, I already did. He's like, oh my gosh, this is the cover letter I need. Here's what I want to do for you, Monica. Here's what I want to do. I want to hook you up with RFK. I want to do this. He started fixing it right away.
Yeah.
While he was fixing it, which is fine. I'll go meet with whoever you want me to. But what I just saw was, I saw his wife sitting right next to him. She was reading every single word in my proposal. She was just sitting there reading it. And I could see her light up. I could see the wheels turning in her brain. So we had the governor, who was a man his job is to fix your problem. I'm here. I'm going to fix it. And then there was his wife, who was soaking it all in. And she was reading it the entire. We moved on to taxes after the health conversation, and we moved on to the redistricting. And she was still reading it, one page at a time. And I just got teary-eyed when I saw her reading it because I thought, that is exactly why I'm here. I wasn't even necessarily there for the governor. I was there for her to sit there and read that proposal. We put a 6-month pilot program together, and it's actually already been used. We used it in Kosciuszko County, and we watched diabetes being reversed. We watched 500 pounds fall off of our county employees. We watched it happen. We've already done this. It was already there. All I had to do was recreate, copy, and paste what we did here in Kosciuszko County. It was really cool because there was another member of our team who, and this wasn't planned. They had seen my proposal. This was not planned, but they spoke up. And one of them said, you know what, just watching you on Facebook, I've lost 50 pounds. I got a CGM on my arm right now. I'm making different choices because of what I have. And he said, and he's a commissioner, he says, and I have my employees doing the same thing. So they're already doing it. They just don't have the coaching part yet. They just don't have, because here's the thing. Just because you have a CGM on your arm, just because you know what to eat, does not mean you're going to do it, because we're dealing with things like addiction. We're dealing with things like, divorce, lifing. So that's where the coaching comes in. And when we walk alongside of them, that changes as well. Body, mind, and spirit. My pastor said when one is not working right, they share each other's diseases. And so you have to heal. And this is why the people on the GLP-1s are not healing, is because they're not taking care of the spiritual and the emotional side. They're not healing. Their body is the fat is falling off so quickly, it actually sends them into a tailspin. And they're like, I don't know this person. I don't know this person standing with this loose skin in front of me. Who am I? Because they don't take time to heal. And so this guy popped up and he said, I've done it. I've seen it. I lost 50 pounds. He looks wonderful. The other guy popped up and said, have you ever thought, Governor, we in America are the most established nation. We have this beautiful nation. We are the top of everything we do. We spend more money on all of these things. And yet, have you ever thought we are the sickest nation? You don't see these diseases in other countries. We are the sickest we have ever been, but we have the top. We've got all of these doctors. Have you ever thought about why?
Hmm.
What if we fix the root? All of it just was cohesive. They were receptive. At the end of the meeting, the governor's wife pulled me aside and she said, I read what you wrote here. I am not going to forget about this. And I just thought, thank you, Jesus. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to soak in. It wouldn't have soaked in had I just met with the fixer, our governor. Love him. Love that guy. But I needed her right there to feel it. So she felt it. He saw it. I don't know what's going to come about that meeting. I have no idea. I told God that morning, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm willing to walk wherever you tell me. And I'm not going to, let me tell you, I'm not going to take a step faster than what he says or when the doors open. We're not going fast. We are prepared. You and I had that conversation. Like, we got to look at our schedules. Can we handle the growth? Can we handle this? So we're preparing. What is that verse in the Bible about the horses going to, the horses go to the water? Oh gosh, I hate it when I do that. But it's God who prepares. It's God who prepares the battle. You know, it is the horses go to the water to drink, but it is God who wins that battle. And so we have that same, I got to read the verse. So, you know, but we have that same thing. We're prepared. We're ready, but we're not moving a step faster than what God wants us to.
Right.
So yeah, it was a historic meeting yesterday, and I don't know what we did. I know I was able to speak truth, and that's all God asked me to do yesterday.
Yeah. I think it was a great extension of, because we went to, when RFK was here, and we went to the that library, and we listened to Dr. Oz, and we listened to all of it. And, you know, he clearly wants to make Indiana healthy.
Yeah.
I think this is a great proposal of how to do it.
Yeah.
And so if they had zero idea of how to do this, but we know that, oh yeah, we're going to put, you know, smoothie machines in. It's kind of like, you know, when school proposals of how to make our school healthy, let's do smoothies instead of ice cream, or like, let's do, which is not a good idea. But being able to propose like something that makes sense, that is doable, that where our CGMs come in, we're able to see, like, when those clients are eating those treats and those things that we say, hey, when it has wheat, we don't eat. They hear it. But with the CGM, they're able to see it. Like, when they eat this keto tortilla that I absolutely despise as a coach, when they do that, then they are able to see what effect this has on them, and that it's not allowing their body to heal.
Right.
It's giving us eyes inside.
Yeah.
This is just guesswork.
Right. Marcia says, lead horses to water, but can't make them drink. Yes, that is the idea that I had in my head. I do know there's a preparing horses for battle. And Marcia's right as well about we have to prepare the field. So what RFK is doing by him removing those dyes, is that going to cause people to lose weight? Who knows? But with him preparing the field like that, she's right. Those are addictive properties. And when we remove them, that's going to help us do our job, right? So let's start the foundation there, and let's build upon that. And then what is happening is we're getting all of these things, but we're forgetting that emotional side. We're forgetting that we're addicted to convenience. We're going to have a bunch of panicked people because they're used to unwrapping the Little Debbies or unwrapping the granola bar, right? There's a Little Debbie's and a granola bar. Those are the same thing, but people think that they're healthy because it's a granola bar.
It's that word protein. Apparently there's like this new rave about protein and getting protein in. Cool. Let's forget about all the other parts and portions that, anyway, that's a side note.
Oh, it's so true. It's so true. So a lot of times I get hit on social media. I have some haters on social media. A lot of them are very public people, on the radio, there are a lot of public people who just want to destroy me because I have an opinion on something. We believe You can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Mm.
Yeah, we got some property tax issues that are killing our seniors. We've got some massive issues there, but that doesn't mean I'm going to slice up the governor because I'm mad at that. When I've got health issues. There are a lot of topics that we can fix. My space is working on health.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to support you. I'm going to cheer for getting rid of property tax. I'm going to cheer for that. But that's not an idea that's going to shut me up and keep me out of a meeting that leadership has the ability to change, especially when they've got the troops all ready to go on the ground doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's making these leaders understand it's not just throwing money at health conglomerates. It's not just throwing money at these pharma companies who are making people sick, right? There's a root issue that we are willing to get in the mud. Coaching is not easy. Coaching is being in the pit with people who are struggling, with women who have lost their identity, with women who have suddenly gone through menopause and they're like, I don't know this alien that's living inside of me.
Yeah.
You can't just toss a pill at that. You got to work and you got to do hard things. So it would be very easy for you and I. We could coach from the beach. We could make a lot of money if we just signed on to the prescriptions.
Yeah.
And they let us now. That's the disgusting part. They would give me certification to hand out GLP-1 medications. Now, am I doubting anybody who's on a GLP-1? You've got to make your choice. We want to make you make an educated decision. Like, here's a question for you. Do you want to keep the weight off? Let us walk with you and show you, even if you're on a GLP-1, let's show you how to do that so you don't gain it back. I don't want one single person who has lost 100 pounds on a GLP-1. I don't wish her to gain a pound back. I want to help her keep it off, because this is the other thing I told the governor yesterday. I said, just because I got the 130 pounds off, that was the easiest part of my journey. It was fun watching that scale fall. What is hard is seeing the same number every day and keeping that same number off every day. That's the hard part. And that's the hard part of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to get in the pit with our clients who have just lost a husband, who are in the throes of having to be at band practice every day, as well as being at the doctor's or being somewhere else at the same time, right?
Yeah.
That's the hard part. Yeah. So I think we're on a precipice, and I don't know what God's doing. Have no idea. I know he asked me to speak. I know he asked me to put this out there, and I know that he calmed my mind when I did it yesterday.
Which, if people don't know you very well, I know you really well.
Probably
and to calm this woman's brain, like,
that was only a miracle.
That's a miracle. Like, that is only God, is to be able to calm her brain as such.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah. That was the miracle that took place. The second miracle was Maureen Braun.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for my team that goes. I took my mom. It was like, take your mom to work day. We got her out of the house after losing her mom, and I was really concerned about her staying home all the time. And I'm like, hey, why don't you hop in the car with me tomorrow? Mm-hmm. And how about if you just watch? And so grateful for that team yesterday. Yeah. And the things that could happen. And they're doing amazing work. We are privileged to sit there every month, and whether he does anything about it or not, that's the other thing, is a lot of people think that when you go into the governor's office, you can just storm in there, make changes, and walk out. No, it is hard work, because he also, and I told him this yesterday, I said, a lot of times when we lobby, one of the questions we ask, this is what Jackie Walorski taught me, when we lobby, the first question you have to ask yourself when you go promote your issue, you need to know who your enemies are. You need to know who is going to knock this down, who is going to say no, who are your enemies.
Yep.
You know who ours are? Right here. It's in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's Eli Lilly. Mm-hmm. And so I told him, you want to talk about angry, start messing with their drugs. Because number one, it's our economy. So we're not wishing any ill will on Eli Lilly, because there's families that work there, right?
They do good. I think they do some good things.
Absolutely. Yeah. But that's going to be your number one enemy. Second is going to be the physicians, because the physicians are uneducated. When it comes to nutrition, they take 1 to 2 hours of nutrition. And in that, supplements are in that portion of their nutrition training. I don't know how many doctors have told my clients, oh, don't eat meat. Oh, you want to go low fat. Low fat is full of sugar. Sugar is killing us.
Yeah.
So the second enemy is the medical system in and of itself. Now, thankfully, a lot of the doctors are escaping that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another fight to have, is to have their backs, because the ones who buck the system lose their license.
Yeah.
Dr. Berry is a prime example of that. I was able to bring him to the meeting yesterday as well.
Yeah.
In his book, in that format. Those guys put their life on the line, and they say some uncomfortable things, and they have enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of my job there yesterday too, just to say, okay, if you like this plan, I need to tell you about your enemies. I need to tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And do you have the courage to stand up against that?
Right.
So, yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. I think that we have a shot. And if you're listening to us from another state, I want you to know you have a shot as well. You just have to open your mouth. That's the first step you have to take. You just have to open your mouth, and you have to have some tough skin. Even in this, I used to be on the pro-life front. You talk about needing some tough skin for that. I mean, you talk about vile hate.
Yeah.
When we were dealing with that in Indiana, I stood against the state house wall like this because I had people screaming in my face like demons. That's big.
Yeah.
You also, in the health world, are going to have the same thing. They're going to call you crazy. Somebody was giving a story of one of their medical experiences where the doctor was trying to, well, and you went through this too, trying to say you need statins, and the guy was like, no, I don't. I'm changing my lifestyle. I do not need statins because I don't want Alzheimer's.
Right.
Statins cause Alzheimer's. I don't want that. And the doctor looked at him in the face and said, oh, you're one of those that reads. I was in the doctor's office with Sarah fighting against a mandatory HPV vaccine. And she looked at me. She said, oh, you're one of those who reads the internet, right? Shaming me for denying the shot, right?
Yep.
You're going to have that. You got to get tough skin, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You have got to get tough skin, and you have got to be able to take your medical care from your doctor into your own hands. You got to have the courage to do that. And it's hard because you will be shamed. You will be humiliated. You will leave that conversation feeling stupid, even though you know what the truth is.
Yeah.
And you got to be strong. Hats off to Dr. Berry. And when I say Dr. Berry, I mean all of the ones we watch. I mean, Vera Tarman. I mean, all of those guys. Hats off to them for having the courage to stand up and say, just because you have a medical license does not mean you're smart.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that there's just politics I'm sure the doctors are dealing with doctor politics, and we're dealing with nutrition politics, and everybody's going to have a say. But my initial idea of like when I come up to the conclusion of things in general, I like to ask the question, well, how's it going so far?
Yes.
What is life doing so far?
Yes.
Well, so far in the nutrition world, we are declining when we should be excelling. In the doctor world, we are declining when we should be excelling.
Exactly.
We should have the answers for cancer at this day and age versus back in the day. You know, they're like, oh, they didn't even have the things of cancers that we do now. They don't have the little children having cancer as we do now. So
how's it working for you?
How's it working for us?
Who said that? Who said that? How's it working for you?
I don't know, but I like that question.
I do.
And to actually get the full picture of how is it working for us? Well, if there's something broken and we're having to do a repeat thing where everybody now is on medication, it's not fixing them. Yeah. Where it is now just masking the issues and creating new issues. Yeah. Then what is wrong? Right. What is broken? Yeah. What is the root here? And the fact of the matter is, whomever is in charge, whomever is raking in the money, they don't want you to ask that question.
Nope.
They don't want you
Most
to.
dangerous question for the medical field is
Yeah,
that question.
it is. And if
Because they
it's
know.
exactly.
They got the
And
statistics. They know. It's
and
not working.
right.
The numbers are going up.
The thing that bothers me, and I mentioned how I had my annual like
Mm-hmm.
physical the
Right.
other day, and just sitting in through a physical alone is just makes me cringe. And I
Yeah.
guess since I am not sick, he didn't really have a whole lot to go off of.
Yeah.
But he was willing to continue to say, you need to eat your fruits and vegetables in moderate carbs. You need to exercise. You need to have cardio 150 minutes. He didn't say per day or per month. He just said 150 minutes. You need to have some cardio.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, he's just. And then I actually found out that 3 other people that I know in that same evening that I went out for a gathering, a bonfire, they all go to the same doctor, and they're like, he actually sounds like he read AI before he came in and talked to me.
Yes.
He's reading off of AI.
Yes.
And that's unfortunate because I was able to stump the guy, by the way. I'm
Good
pretty proud of
job.
myself for that.
Good
Not
job.
proud. I'm like, that makes me know, like, I can stump him. He's sending me to somewhere else to get my answer, my
Mhm.
to fix my answer or whatever
Yeah.
I need. But
Yeah.
it's
And
disheartening.
here's a comfort to know because Darcy stumped him. And that's great. If you are that kind of personality, yes, go stump your
I
guy.
was just asking a
Right?
question
Yeah.
too. I wasn't like
Yeah.
purposely trying to
Right.
stump him.
But
Yeah.
I want you to know that if you are not feeling aggressive, if you're not like I am, I hate confrontation. I hate it. I want you to know that it's okay for you to just be quiet too.
Yeah.
If you know what you know, what you know, some people will just take it and then walk away and do their own thing. That is
Mhm.
okay. You have not failed there. If you don't want to take the time. Now, we've got some clients who are like, hey, doc, I'm sorry. Nope, not going to work for me. And they will fight back. And you also have to be careful when you do that because they can fire you. And when they fire you, it goes on your record. And so
Right.
Dr. Barry has a video on how to fire your doctor because you got to do it very carefully.
Yes.
But it's also okay for you to know what you know, because you're
Mhm.
watching it work in your life and you're watching your blood panels. This is a miracle. These are my last blood tests. No longer am I on the low side, the high. Everything is in the green according to the optimal numbers, not even the average numbers that they give you because those are fake. Those are based on the average of all the sick people.
Mhm.
Those are not optimal numbers, right?
Right.
And so it is okay for you to just do your own thing. You
Yeah.
don't have to take it. You don't.
Be respectful to
Yeah.
the person
Yeah.
that's taking care of you.
Yeah, but you don't have to go in there fighting. Now,
Yeah.
some of you will, and some of you that's good because those doctors need it. They
Mhm.
need to be held to the line. But if you don't want to, you don't have. Darcy, do you know the definition of insanity? Have you heard that?
Something that's on repeats. I don't know. What is
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Doing the same thing
Oh, yeah.
over and over and
Yeah.
over again.
Repeat. Yeah.
Those numbers. Now, in my opinion, watching the obesity numbers rise, watching the diabetes rise, to me, that's a little bit over the top. But the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again. How about we try something new?
Yeah.
What if it fails if it's new? Well, we retry it.
Yeah.
If Einstein would have quit because he failed, we wouldn't be sitting here with a room full of lights. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over. My thought is, let's change things a little bit. And that's why I love RFK, because he's questioning with boldness the very reality of what is happening in pharma, in the food industry. Did you know that when smoking was a big deal, I don't know if it was in the 80s, but when smoking was at its highest point,
50s probably.
they began to say, hey, smoking is bad, and those numbers plummeted. Like when they got some legislation passed to make it, very hard, those same lobbyists, the same lawyers, all they did when they lost their jobs was they moved to the food industry.
Mm-hmm.
So the food industry, who is making these foods that are, like Marcia says, cheap, addictive, all of those things, those are controlled by the same lobbyists that controlled the tobacco industry. I mean, I'm a dummy. I am a simpleton. Dumb it down to 5th grade language for me. But I'm smart enough to know there's a problem when the tobacco industry took over the food industry. And then suddenly we've got doctors prescribing all of these meds that are causing the symptoms that they're treating. There is a stair step, like a snake head, of all of the medications that cause symptoms that you need another medication to treat that symptom. How about if we stop taking it?
Yeah.
And how about if we do some hard things and change our nutrition? Now, you and I changing our nutrition was not easy. We had to get rid of some old, yummy habits, right? But we replaced them with good things. I got baked by Vi Miller. She's our sister, and we love her. She is building a business that makes healthy food. Healthy, sweet, yummy treats. And she does it with organic ingredients. She does it. Some of them are sugar free. Some of them have vegan, dairy free, all of the things. She's up there in New Paris, working her little self away, struggling as a business owner, because when you own a business, it's tough. It is tough out here. I'm fighting the GLP-1 industry. She's fighting, she's fighting the fact that it's hard to make healthy food, and she's doing an incredible job. But she put a package together for Governor Braun and his wife, and put a package of all of her goodies. It was so fun to give them to her and say, listen, Governor, here's another thing that you can support. Small businesses who are doing good things, who are not a part of the food industry, that they're doing good things. You've got one, Parlor Donuts by you in Indy. Mom and I passed that and they were closed. They need to have 24/7 donuts, I think. But I know the business owner of that company. He's doing good things. He's making good products that we don't have to fall for these crappy food items. So that's our spiel today. Yeah. Number one, open your mouth. Open your mouth and begin to speak things into existence as if they don't. That's what you and I are doing right now. Yeah. We're speaking health into existence here in Indiana when it's not. And we look crazy doing it. I looked really crazy yesterday. I was saying things that doctors sitting at that very table with me would have my head on a platter for. But I went in there speaking into existence. Here's what I want to see. I want to see our budget reduced from the medical costs, from the insurance, from all of these things that are just nearly bankrupting us. The medicine world, all the healthcare costs, we could cut that in half if we just got healthy. Instead, we're medicating the symptoms. Yeah. And putting a Band-Aid on it. So we're excited. I wanted to tell you our story on this live today. We're going to have a podcast released. By the way, thank you, Internet, for working. It was a beautiful session today. I'm just so grateful when that happens.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And thank you for praying for me. Darcy, thank you for holding down the coaching fort for us yesterday as we went. I know you had to take on some extra responsibilities as well as I raced home, to get on our live call. So glad I made it, though. I loved hearing the stories of our clients who are on a CGM. I loved hearing their victory stories. We are not telling them what they have to do. I mean, we're giving them guidance and working through them, but they know, they can see what happens when you move your body right after you eat. They see it live, and it's just so exciting. So I was so glad I made it home in time, even in the dark.
I like being able to see how the CGM is working via help of a coach versus somebody who's just given a CGM because they're diabetic and the doctor's prescribing them, and they're you see it, but now what?
Ooh, look at that spike. Oh, what do I do?
I'm supposed to have so many spikes. Yeah. And how long and blah blah blah.
There's no education.
There's no education.
Yeah, don't do the CGM thing alone, because you'll be like, what do I do with it? What does that mean? That spike wasn't very high, but it stayed there all day. Why? Well, when it stays there all day, you're not burning fat. Let me tell you, we want to see, there's so many things that go along with it. And we're encouraged. We're really excited. I did drop the link to the new program, so you can check it out. When you go on there, Coach Darcy has her own website on there. I have mine. We recommend that if you need help, we recommend you set up a personal free one-on-one session with Coach Darcy or myself, because there's so many different choices. And we did that intentionally because there are no two people that are the same.
Yeah.
Every client of ours has a different thing that they need. So we recommend you setting up a free session. It's just, 20 minutes, half hour, just so we can hear your story, kind of know what you need before you invest the money into it. It is at the lowest cost that it ever will be, because we still are doing the founders sale, just because we want to make sure all of the kinks and the tweaks and all of those things are worked out of the system before we up the price. And so that'll be for a couple more weeks. So feel free to check out our website. Ask us any questions. We're here for that. If you don't have a coach who answers your questions, fire them. Don't just go to a coach and says, do it because I say. And honestly, that was the first part of our practice. First couple of years is do this, don't do this because I say. And we learned very quickly that does not work. That kind of coaching is like a meal plan that falls apart the first outing that you have, right? Yep. Does not work. So yeah, contact us. And also pray for us as we are we've been placed in a weird leadership role. So pray for us that we will be able to turn things down that don't serve us well, that we don't get distracted, and that we continue to have a voice in our state political scene, because this is our livelihood. Looks like politics, but it is our actual livelihood. And if you're a state who wants help with this, we've got the blueprint. The Indiana Metabolic Health. What am I calling it? The Indiana Metabolic Health Blueprint. It's all written out. It's ready to go. And yeah, we would love to work with you. So, any other last minute thoughts, Coach?
No, I have none. Surprising.
All right. It's good to see everybody. We're here every Tuesday morning at around 11. And we love to hear from you. We love to know, hey, Coach, I got a question about this. What do I do about this? And also tell us what you want to hear from us. So, all right. We'll see you next Tuesday, and we hope everybody has a great week.
Bye.